Hey, what's up you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this video, we are seeing buyers stepping back in, not just in Micron, many other chip stocks and memory stocks. Now the question is that though, as per my morning video, was it the right decision to take partial profits when we lost $1,100? And the answer to that right now, I can tell you right away, is yes. You gotta take partial profits when the structure is breaking. Don't let anyone tell you that's not the right decision, because those very people are only right once in the hindsight, and 99 times out of 100 they are wrong because they don't know how to trade. The point I'm trying to mention here is that when you are trading in the market, you have to understand the price action. You cannot look at the things in the hindsight. You can rebuild the position in the real time. You can slowly add back into that. I'll tell you how you identify all of that. But if you are thinking to yourself, oh no, I should not have taken partial profits when we lost $1,100, then I'll tell you the right decision was to take partial profits below $1,100 on Micron. Okay, and when we got back up right now, we'll take a look at technicals right away, but structure, is this confirmed strength to the upside, or do we have some more weakness that may come? Well, let's talk about all of that in this video. Okay, before going further, as always, none of this is any financial advice, only for education purposes, just sharing my opinion. Please do your own thing. Now, this is where the experience comes into play. As I said, there will be people telling you, oh, you should not have taken partial profits, because they are only right once in the hindsight, okay? And 99 times out of 100, they are wrong, okay? And one time they get right is in the hindsight. The point is that when the price is below the break of the structure, you don't know what the future will happen. Do you know? Well, if you know, then you must be making a lot of money. You already know where the market would go 10 years from now, right? You would have placed all your bets. That's my point. You have to respect the price action, and you have to manage your position according to that. Okay? Because what if things would not have come back up? You would be in a much dire situation, and that's why traders lose money in the market, because they're trading on the hope. Hope may work one time or something randomly, but it doesn't guarantee you long-term success in the market. Okay, so the point is that $1,100 below, yes, we were in the weakness, we were in the price action, near-term multi-day weakness continuation. We did have a next zone, and this is where position management you would have to look at. $1,100 below, definitely we're in the weakness. Position management has to be done. You got to reduce your position, you got to book in the profits. You don't know what's going to happen. But let's get to the 5 minutes interval on Micron. So, and let me actually turn on my easy day and swing trading tool. When the market opened below the cloud, I'm using 5 minutes interval here because when a critical structure is breaking, just starting to break, you have to look at the closer to the day trade time frame to understand, because is this a liquidity grab, right? So as you can see, when we're below the cloud, as you can see, I'll turn it off, and you don't know what to do. Let's turn it on now. So we have a red structure below the cloud. It's definitely a negative play, and then we lost that important zone. Things started to turn around over here, right? This is where bullish trend started to come, and we started to go up. If you are doing day trading, it's right in front of you what you have to do. If you are doing swing and long, we did regain the cloud, okay? If you are doing swing and long, you can definitely use this tool on the hourly interval and so forth as well. But what I want to highlight here is that and I mentioned that as if we get above $1,100, yes, and that I mentioned in the morning, if we can somehow get above $1,100 again, this may be back in the strength. So we have to respect that the structure and the price action and at that zone. Okay, so and at this point, $1,100 above, as if Micron stays, and I'll provide my opinion, is this really good to go through the roof from here. And the same point comes back. You have to respect the price action. $1,100 above, we are in the strength. $1,100 above, we are in the strength. And as if we stay above $1,100, technically we are supposed to push up. Now, if this very situation happened somewhere down there, then I would be ultra bullish. But it's happening at the point of the zones where we have Seagate, though it's trying to come back up, but it's still far off from the top. This is what happens usually in the distribution phase. You will be chopped around at these zones, and this is where, that's why you gotta be happy with the partial profits, because that's how it has to be done. You cannot trade on hope. Okay, so is this a distribution phase on Micron? It's too early to tell. Right now, even AMD is coming back up, but is it good to go another leg up? I'll get to that point when we get to AMD. Let's wrap up Micron first. So Micron is right now in the strength above $1,100. Is it going to break to new all-time highs? I cannot tell you that because I don't know. What I know is what the price action is telling us from where we are. And from where we are, $1,100 is our strength. Below that, we are in the weakness, unfortunately, again, yes. And that's what is distribution phase. If you wanna little bit give yourself more room, but that means you have a wider trailing area, then this is the zone, 980 area. If you wanna, but that's the whole point. If you wanna optimize your profits, then yes, below $1,100, you gotta be careful. You gotta start taking off your position slowly and slowly. As always, so you don't have to fully liquidate yourself, but you gotta book profits. And again, if you don't wanna do it, don't do it, right? I'm just sharing my opinion here. None of this is any financial advice. Do what you feel like doing. But if you're in the market to be a long-term profitable trader and, understand the market, understand the price action, you have to understand how to trade the price action. Okay, you cannot trade on the hope. As I say, you in the hindsight, you can become right even just 1 out of 100 times, and 99 times you will be wrong because you are not trading the price action. So now that's where Micron is right now. Okay, again, we also have, every time as we are extending, every time we have, yes, we have highs, but what we have is the distance between highs is getting smaller and smaller. That's also an indication of soon potentially a distribution phase. And this is what happened. This is what happens. Okay, that's Micron. Let's take a look at Sandisk. Sandisk did get bought up as well. This thing overall, though, just like 1855, right? Like overall, I have given you this zone, right? Like until here, Sandisk is fine, right? That's what I have said. On Micron, I have given you a bit of a tighter area, but also, as I said, you can use the bottom one below, but that's the whole point, right? Like how you wanna, like technically, you gotta, once the multi-day weakness starts to happen, you gotta start sizing down your position. Okay, that's the principles if you want to optimize your profitability in the market and you want to be a profitable trader in the long run. Now, so Sandisk is coming back up. Unfortunately, though, it hasn't regained above one of the zones that I have provided over the weekend. It unfortunately still remains in the negative structure. Micron has pushed a little bit higher, but Sandisk hasn't yet. It has bounced nicely, but it hasn't pushed through, but it's very close to that zone, and bounce came at a significant level down there. But as if it can push above 2062 tomorrow, it can then push up. But again, I would not bet too much, guys. We already had a failure of a high here after the sympathy rally, but technically we're gonna be bullish above that zone of 2070. So not fully there, but may potentially be there. Okay, before going further, guys, I want to tell you something also about the short squeeze plays that I provided to my members, they are ripping through the roof today. If you want to check those short squeeze plays out, and there will be a lot more good stuff like that coming out for the members, so consider joining the membership. You will find the details in the description of this video and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's get back over here. So that's okay. So Sandisk, we are done with that. Let's now move on to Nvidia. Let's go up there. Nvidia showing us some green sign from 200 days moving average, but guys, it is not in the bullish structure. It's just a bounce today. It's just a bounce. Okay, so Nvidia will continue to remain in the weakness from where we are as we stay below 197. If we can push tomorrow above 195, 197 can be tested, but a little bit be careful. Right now, Nvidia is not showing strength. Okay, excuse me, 197 below, we will remain in that zone below that weakness ongoing right now. So Nvidia is not in your strength right now. It is in the weakness still. AMD, good buying happened on this thing. Now with AMD, I have mentioned that yes, you can a little bit manage your position below 504. It did get bought up above that eventually, and then but overall it's like 478 is the zone on this thing. Okay, overall until there, if it's fine, but definitely below 505, this zone is where weakness will happen. Now the point, well, multi-day weakness I mean to say, but the point is that is this the distribution phase. We have signs of that. Multiple failures closer to the highs, multiple failures, okay, closer to the highs, and that's something you cannot ignore. But yes, as if it breaks out, it can push through. So, but as I say, at this, you don't have to trade AMD every day. You don't have to build position every day. If you're doing swing or long, you just hold back right now. Okay, just sit back, and if it breaks either side accordingly, then if it breaks out above, great, hold the remaining position. If it breaks below 476, you gotta size down more. But the point is that in this area, you should consider taking partial profits. Okay, you gotta manage the position, you gotta take partial profits, be happy with that. Don't do if you don't want to do. If you think AMD is gonna go to $1,000, sure, you hold. All right, but then be ready. If your all the shares goes down below 480, then you should be happy also to be willing to let it go in that negative. Then don't beat yourself that, oh, why didn't I take some partial profits? And that's the whole point. You have to trade the price action. Okay, all right, let's get to ARM. ARM is getting up above 332. Does it make it bullish? The point is that it does bring it in a little bit of a bounce, but it doesn't make it back in the strength. It is a good bounce. If we hold yellow zone, we can see tomorrow also a bounce, but the yellow zone down below at 330 area. But to change the direction of the strength to come back in, we have to start to get above 356. Then only it will come back in the strength. Broadcom bouncing at the 200 days moving average, coincided with our important blue zone here. It's not overall bullish. We are still in the negative structure on this thing, and it is just a bit of a bounce. It doesn't really makes it bullish. If you want to look at a proper strength on this thing, you gotta let it get above 385. Then only there is a possibility of a strength right now. All right, let's get to now Intel. All right, so Intel is one of those examples where it did test a lower zone of overall structural area of 116, got bought up from there, and as it holds above 125, yes, we are technically in the strength here. Okay, and that's the whole point. Yes, you gotta still take partial profit, manage your position. There is no guarantee it's gonna come back unless you have a crystal ball and you can see the future, right? And that's the whole point. You have to trade the price action. And now for remaining position, you can continue to hold it. Partial profits, remaining, continue to hold. This is the overall break of the structure below 116. Okay. All right, the next one is, I don't think we talked Seagate. Yeah, we didn't talk. I just showed you, but we didn't talk about it. It's just a bounce, guys. It doesn't make it full on bullish. It's a bounce. Now, is this bounce strong enough? Not yet. So it is recovering above the yellow zone, but it is mostly like a momentum, just a push through. let's see if it can, well, if it stays below 966, it's going to continue in the weakness though. Okay, so it's not fully out of the woods. If it can hold tomorrow also into the yellow zone and above, then I can mention that it has high likelihood of pushing through higher. But you know, a little bit, just be careful here. Again, it could, we have to see this week how it unfolds. If you start to see new highs build up on these things, then we are good for coming weeks to the upside. If we stay in this range here this week, yeah, that's your distribution phase, guys, building up here. Okay, all right, I think we covered everything here. TSM, I can look at it, this one as well. So this thing came back. It's a very slow mover. It's, you know, goes quite wide up and down. It is back above 441. That's where it's in the strength technically, but it's a very wide ranging thing. But anyways, it's a very slow mover as well. All right, guys, that's all I had for you in this video. Definitely check out my short squeeze video if you want to, you know, look at the ones which are short squeezing right now. And I provided this trade, and today those stocks, as I said, are ripping through the roof. Now, excuse me, there will be one more video, excuse me. There will be one more video coming out for members today regarding coverage is increasing, guys. Coverage is increasing for the members, and you get a lot more now for your bucks there, right? You were already getting a lot more for your bucks. Now you get double the amount, right? So for little to nothing, guys, membership costs nothing pretty much. So, but yeah, members will be getting constant updates on a lot of good stuff, guys. I can't wait to tell my members today some of the ripping through the roof, and we have had position in those. All right, guys, that's all I had for you in this video. And with that, I'll see you in my next videos. Take it, bye.